1, 2, 3, 4. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Oh, get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Oh, wow. Get ready, my soul. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. Good morning. We welcome you to Unity Spiritual Center of North Idaho, where our mission is to inspire people to live love and uplift lives. And I hope we are all doing that every day as best we can. Let us open with prayer. Holy Spirit, we gather here today to open our hearts and minds to the awareness of your divine presence. We know there is but one presence and one power in the universe, God the Good. We send a blessing to all faiths as they too seek a deeper understanding of your presence, your love, your joy, and your compassion. We recognize that we are spirit in expression, and we too share in this divine understanding. We welcome all who are here today, both in person and participating on live stream, and we are blessed. Thank you, Lord, as we step forward into 2021 with an uplifted spirit and anticipation of everything going right. Bless our new spirit circles that start this week as they form new connections in our church and our community. Thank you for this spiritual center. Amen. Let's see, there's the daily word, which is next on my list. Sunday, January 31st. Man, it's already through January. Now is the word for today. I find my power in this very moment. There is power in this very moment. Yesterday is past, and tomorrow is not yet here. There is only this moment, ripe with promise and potential, ready for me to live into it fully. Through my many divine gifts, everything I need to get started is within me. I need not wait for the perfect moment to arrive, because there is no time more perfect than now, and no place more perfect than here. Procrastination has no place in my life. I fritter away my energy when I find reasons not to get started, losing my zeal and focus, and inviting frustration into my life. Today, I claim the power of the present and say, this is the day I begin. Now is the time to begin, to serve, to forgive, to create, and to love. 2 Corinthians 6:2 says, see, now is the acceptable time. See, now is the day of salvation. Now. Yay. So let's sing together. Please stand.
Together, Spirit-led, Spirit-fed.
1, 2, 3.
I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. As I'm choosing my way, there's a voice inside to guide me along. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led.
Everywhere and always. At Unity, we are an affirming ministry that honors the many names of God, the many faces of God, the many paths to God. We bless all people everywhere, of any race, any color, any creed, without exception. We are also a ministry of prayer that, with Silent Unity, our partner, that's been praying for over 100 years in prayer requests. And if you have a prayer request, please feel free to fill a thing out that's in the back of your chairs in front of you, or sign on our website and submit a prayer request, and we'll be glad to pray with you over the next 30 days, as well as send it on to Unity. Thank you. Thanks to our wonderful musicians today, our piano and vocals, Patsy Cameron, and guitar and vocals, Pam Bankirk, that are here with us today, and I'm sure Julie's going to do a little singing. And Mark Sauce back there is doing a little singing. So thank you guys for being here. And Randy Clark on bass, and Dagan Williamson on drums. And thanks you guys back there. Whoa. Did the camera just go like that? Did I just go like that? Thanks, Mark, for getting the camera there. Mark Sauce. And Jim Sullenberg on sound, and Brian Wright on PowerPoint. And thank you, ladies in the office, Geraldine and Judy and Kathy, for keeping us together all week, and everybody else that keeps this place together. We appreciate you very much. And we'd like to invite you, if you have not yet signed up for our spirit circles, please do, our spirit groups. I saw that most of them are filled up or are filling up. I know that I still have room on mine, so if you haven't yet done so, you know, there's still room. My name's Nancy Nelson, and it says Twin Lakes, but we're not meeting at Twin Lakes, we're meeting on Zoom. So I'm hoping that maybe some other people that live kind of out of town might come together on our Zoom meeting. So please, if you haven't signed up, do it. And it's a perfect way for you to get to know more people here at Unity in a more intimate group and conversation. And we're going to be using the book, What If It All Goes Right? Which, how can you not want to read that book? So, and discuss it along with your fears and anticipations about everything going right. So please, take that first step and join one of the groups. And the next announcement is for Fat Follies. I don't know if you've ever watched our Fat Follies before, but it can be quite entertaining. And it's kind of like a musical comedy variety show. And we've done it for many years here, but because of COVID this year, we're going to do it on video. So if you have a little skit, a little funny deal, a serious song, or not a serious song, or anything that you would like to submit on video, you can maybe get your friends together to put it together at your house or your inner bubble circle to help you, film it, and then we'll submit it. And you guys are going to do one big one, right?
Yeah. Can I start
Sure.
with that? So yes, that's true. So if you don't have video capability, which most people do even just if it's on your phone or your laptop or whatever, we are thinking about having a night or two here or a time or two here at the church where we can videotape your act here, and then we'll just have it and ready to go for the show. And the show will probably be then presented, I'm thinking, sometime in March. We don't have a date selected yet, but so
Great.
Be creative. Do something, submit it, right? Read a poem, whatever. It'll be really fun. So
Great.
Thank you.
Great. That was like one of the last things we were able to do last year before we all got closed down.
Nancy,
Yes.
back here. I believe we probably have. Do we have the last Fat Follies recorded from last year on?
Somewhere.
Would we have that in our archive?
I believe so.
We might be able to. I'll see if I can pull that up and provide a link to it. But if we can get a link to last
last
year's
one.
live version, it might give you a better idea of what Fat Follies is. But essentially,
silliness.
it's a community variety show. So whatever talent you have, whether it's magic or singing or dancing, you can record yourself and be included in that community variety show. So
Great.
that's the idea, is it's a talent show. So whatever your talent is, this is your chance to be noticed.
It's family friendly.
As long as it's
Right.
family friendly. You got to keep your clothes on.
I've had my lips, my wrists slapped a few times. No, we better not do that. Anyway, hope you join us for that. If you have not yet renewed your membership for our church, please do. Our bylaws require us to re-up every year, so we actually know how many people are active, and you need to do that so you can vote at our annual meeting, which I'm sure we'll be hearing more about soon. Last Sunday of February, 1 month away. So if you haven't submitted your re-up, please do. And our environmental challenge this month is focused on replacing synthetic sponges and scrubbers off of your sink counters and replacing them with coconut fiber or loofahs. This will help the plastic from not getting into our system, and we are doing a good job of giving you different suggestions every month to help that plastic from being in our households and in our systems. Literally systems. Okay, and Reverend Steve's Meditation for Living. If you haven't tried one of those, you can access them on our website. He has different ones that you can choose from for healing or cultivating healthy relationships, prosperity. It just gives you something to listen to as you are meditating and praying for what you would like to bring into your life. As well as you can also join him on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock for a 20-minute silent unity healing service. This is where they will take all the names and prayers that have been submitted, just first names usually, for our prayer service, and we pray together as two or more are joined. That just strengthens the prayer power. So if you'd like to join us on Wednesday, that would be great. And Geraldine has been blessed over the last couple of years with a volunteer working doing some data entry, and he is moving to Las Vegas. Maybe it's because it's warmer down there. And so she's looking for someone to help her on Thursday from 10 to 2 with some data entry and computer skills. So if you are interested in that, please let her know.
Nancy, she's specifically looking for somebody with advanced Microsoft Office skills, not just somebody plugging in numbers, but somebody who understands how to create
Excel
spreadsheets and how to do mail merges. And that's what Dan brought to the table. Was he was very adept at doing those things, and now she needs somebody that skill to help set. Her. So she needs somebody who's not working right now, maybe, who just wants to keep their skills fresh and has a few hours to contribute every week. This is what she's looking for.
Here is your opportunity.
This is your opportunity.
Step forward and
be a hero.
Thank you. Yes, be a hero. Be a unity hero. So thank you for listening to all those announcements. And let us now go inward and prepare for meditation.
And now I invite you, if you will, just to close your eyes, if that feels comfortable. And just allow ourselves to move from our awareness to the world around us, to the experience and the feeling and the peace of the world within. For in this sacred moment, in this time that gives us an opportunity to step apart from the world, we specifically and consciously seek to focus our attention on the divine presence of God, the divine spirit that is our essential nature, that is who we are, out of which our life is lived, out of which our world is created, out of which our experience unfolds. And so when we go to the source of our being, when we go to that dynamic energy of love and compassion and kindness and caring, that creative energy, the source of divine ideas and spiritual substance to bring them forth into the world, when we do that, when we consciously do that, our mind becomes quiet, our body becomes relaxed. Our experience is one of more confidence, more joy, more loving, more willing to be the instrument that we have been created to be. For each of us has chosen to be in these particular bodies at this particular time, in the evolutionary dynamic of our planet, of our world, of our experience. And so having created that choice, having made that choice, we recognize that we are the architects of our reality. That we bring forth in our world that which we think about, that which we become excited about, that which is infused with passion and energy. And we recognize that in our journey, often we get diverted. Often we lose that thread of connection to spirit. Often we feel separate and alone. And yet at any moment of any day, at any time, we can simply stop, turn our attention within, call forth the presence of Spirit, and know that we have a co-creator, a partner in life. And we can walk through our life experience, not alone, but feeling fully connected and fully present and grateful for that which unfolds before us as we move forward in our life. And so today, as we acknowledge that powerful spirit and energy within us, I would like to take a moment to focus on one of our congregants, Alice Adams, who is at advanced care doing rehab for a broken hip. And I want to send her all the love, all the energy, all the healing powers of spirit to move in and through her body, to allow her and help her to feel supported, to feel encouraged, and to feel motivated, to feel challenged, to feel uplifted in the effort to get back on her feet and to resume her life. And so we hold her in our prayers, and we also hold anyone else that we would like to send our love and energy to. Just take a moment to think about people in your life who would benefit from the collective energy that exists in this sanctuary right now. That we collectively direct it, send it forth. And for some it may be a subtle feeling that shows up in a given moment. For others it's a powerful, uplifting energy. And for everyone that we think about and pray for, there is a difference in their life and in our life. We feel more connected. We feel a part of this spiritual, physical universe that we are co-creating right now. We also give thanks for the teachings that we are all a part of, that we've been drawn to these unity teachings that have come forth through the Fillmores and other leaders throughout the years. And we recognize them as a part of our evolutionary process in coming to a greater understanding and awareness of what God represents and is in our life. And we are grateful for that. We are grateful for the work they have done and for the work that is continued to be done in making a difference in the world, in creating more peace, more love, more inspiration, more acceptance, more compassion, more caring, more joy, more love, and more good. What a powerful experience it is for us to dwell together in unity. And so as we resonate with this divine energy and this joy and this love and this feeling, we just allow that resonation to occur as we rest for just a moment, just a minute, in the very silence of our being, in the silence.
my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. Oh, go inside to find my God.
Thank you. Oh, I feel so relaxed. Don't you feel relaxed? This week I sent out an email. Actually, the day before yesterday, I sent out an email that reminded everybody in my group, meets on Wednesday, just to give them some instructions and stuff. So I get a response from Bob Claypar, and he writes back and he says, what if it all goes wrong and I can't make the group? So finally I wrote back and I said, well, that means you'll be someplace where it's all going right. People like to kind of poke me a little bit, you know. I think sometimes. I don't know. We have 50 people in our signed up for our groups, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm happy. I had this little vignette I wanted to send you. I don't know if many of you get the Coeur d'Alene Press, but they have this every day. They have a little thing called Groaner, and it's a stupid joke, you know. Well, this kind of fits that category, so just be prepared here. Said I hadn't put my own picture up on my dating profile, just a picture of my pickup, but that's okay, because she just put a picture of her dog. I sent her a message, something almost clever like, "Your dog can ride in my pickup anytime." And she responded. We clicked pretty quickly, started chatting regularly, every day sometimes throughout the day. Slowly we learned more about each other. Her dog's name was Daisy, my truck's name was Dodge Ram. I apologize for my lack of creativity. She is a CPA, I'm a beekeeper. And at this she stumbled. If we ever meet in real life, I want you to know that I could never date a beekeeper. But we were still far away from that point, so it was moot. But time went on, and we gradually became closer to that point, more personal information, what firm she worked for, where my farm was, names of relatives, names of high schools. All the things just come up in a conversation eventually if you talk to someone long enough. But oddly, after all this time, neither of us had thought to send any pictures. Until one day I got a message from her. I never thought I'd say this, but I really do want to meet you in person. I think we have a rare connection, and I don't want to squander it. I want to send you my picture, and I want you to send me yours, but I'm telling you, I can never date a beekeeper. I couldn't imagine my life without bees, but I also couldn't imagine my life without her. Tentatively, reluctantly, I clicked on the image attached to her message. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Takes a minute to kind of work in. Made me laugh, so I thought I had to share it. We're in our journey through this process over the next few weeks. We're talking about engaging in a peaceful, prosperous life of possibilities. That's really the experience that we're seeking to kind of bring into our life experience. And a peaceful, prosperous life of possibilities really comes down to what we believe in and where we place our beliefs. Getting in touch with the things that we believe in about ourselves, about our world, and about spirit, about God, however you want to look at that. And it's interesting that our process or our journey has been a journey of a changing God, that there's been several gods that we have looked at over the eons. And if you look at the Bible really is an evolutionary journey of our relationship with God and how that unfolds in the universe. And so there's the God of the Old Testament, which is kind of the God of wrath, the God of fear, the God of judgment, all those kinds of dynamics. And the Old Testament is really a book about rules, laws, obedience, and consequences. That's really all it's about. Rules, laws, obedience, and consequence. Here's the rules and the laws, and if you obey them, you have good consequences, and if you don't, you won't. And so that's the story of the journey of the Israelites, the Hebrews, as they move through that experience. And then an evolutionary process took place, and we went into the New Testament. And the New Testament then changes our relationship and our nature to God, and the New Testament really becomes about the God of love, the God of grace, the loving Father, the God of grace, of just random dispensation. You don't have to really earn it. God just provides that loving grace. The God of sacrifice, and the God of renewal, the God of resurrection, the God of awakening, that whole renewal kind of experience. And so we move through that New Testament, but the thing is the Bible doesn't just stop. The evolutionary process of our relationship to God doesn't just stop. It continues. And so in our reality, we move into the God of New Thought, the God of unity and Center for Spiritual Living, religious science, kind of this group in terms of how our evolutionary process through the experiences of the people who began unity and other new thought organizations. And the God of New Thought then becomes the God of creativity, which deals with our thoughts, feelings, actions, and manifestation, which is the creative cycle that we have engaged in. And so it's about really the process of engaging with Spirit, with God, in a different kind of relationship. And that relationship is not just about a loving relationship, but it's also a partnership. That we move into this evolutionary shift in consciousness where we become co-creators with God. And that God becomes, in a sense, our deeper self, and we partner with that energy, and we bring forth and manifest spiritual substance. I've talked about this last week in the world. And so we have moved to a place where our journey, our spiritual journey in life is very much about mastering our inner game, which is the title of our lesson today. It's mastering our inner reality, our inner experience, and being in touch with it, being connected with it, allowing it to be the guiding force in our life. We pay attention to our feelings. We listen to the promptings of Spirit. We look for signs. We're connected to the universe. We're not separate from it. We are part of it. We're swimming in it. We're moving, living and moving, and have our being in the consciousness of Spirit. And so we become conscious, co-creative, divine beings in that evolutionary journey. And we move from being subjects to co-creators. We shift in consciousness from subjects to co-creators. And that's where we are in terms of what we teach in Unity. So we are recipients of a process through which we can manifest things in our life. Manifest experiences, manifest things, manifest ideas, whatever it is, we're involved in this process that we can create. And so that's what we are doing in this journey. We are learning simple steps. We are understanding the creative process and learning simple steps by which we can do that and show and prove that Spirit does provide what is needed in this experience and more. And so in some respects, it's sort of a gymnast. Can you put up the creative cycle? In some respects, there's some mental gymnastics involved. That sometimes we have to move past some old beliefs, some old perceptions, some old experiences, some old statements of people who were in a different place and a different mindset, that we have grown to a different reality and a different experience in our life. And so we're here to demonstrate. We're here to learn how to grab invisible spiritual substance and to bring it into manifestation through our prayers, through our thoughts, through our feelings, through our actions, and creating our reality. And that's this creative cycle that we're going to be looking at in our groups this week, is that the creative mindset really starts with our thoughts, with our thinking. What is it that we are thinking? And once we have a thought, which can be a divine idea, because divine ideas are everywhere present, and divine ideas are not a zero-sum experience where there's only a finite amount, and if I get one, you don't, or I take some of yours, so you have less divine ideas than I have. It's not that. Divine ideas are absolutely infinite. There is no limit to the number of divine ideas or types of divine ideas that we can experience in our life. And they just come to us. And so we have a thought, a divine idea. We connect with that and begin to feel something, which is where our energy, our passion, our movement forward comes, is from that, our feeling nature. We get excited about it. We start to think about how it might show up in our life. We connect with it in some way in terms of our deeper feeling. And then we decide to take action. We decide to make a step forward. We do something. And then that something that we do creates a different reality. It creates our reality. And then we start over again, because that reality means we're in a different place. We have a different perspective, a different view, because we just brought that into our world, into our experience, and then we begin to create from there. Then our divine ideas become different, or extensions of where we are or were. Mindy says that the process of awakening or becoming enlightened begins when we step outside of our conscious cycle of creation and begin consciously examining and modifying our thoughts. Our life then becomes a laboratory for limitless creative possibilities. We begin examining our thoughts, how we view and think about and interact and relate to something. So what if we see reality differently than we've seen it yesterday? What if we see the experience differently yesterday? What if we move from a God of obedience to a God of co-creation and a God of partnership? A more equal footing, a more partner kind of experience. So we're not down here, up here, but we're interacting, we're connecting, we're appreciating, we're bringing that energy into our experience, and now we have a partner, and instead of being a subject. subject where we don't have the kind of input that we might feel like we want to have. And that's exciting. That's an exciting step to move into and become more active with. And I think that when we move into that place, we can become more courageous, and that leads to a feeling to try something new and different. The willingness to step outside of our comfort zones, what we've created, and to do something entirely different, to change kind of the experience that we may be having. Mindy says that in her book, she says, what if the words "what if," 2 words, what if carries the power to create and the power to destroy? It carries the key to inspiration, and it is the birthplace of our greatest fears. The difference lies in how we choose to use these words. And so she takes us in this process called what if up or what if down. So we go what if up or what if down. Bob gave me a what if down, right? What if it all goes wrong, when we do something? Or what if up? What if up is, wow, what are the possibilities? And so if we tend to approach our thoughts and our feelings with what if this idea was a good idea? What could happen then? And we start to get excited, and so it creates this dynamic energy. Now, it's not an either-or thing, because both have a what if up or what if down each has a place. And let me give you an example of that. A year ago, I'd saved a little bit of money. I'd managed to squirrel aside a little bit of money in my savings account, and it was just sitting there doing nothing, just in my savings account. And I had this idea, okay, that maybe I should, I've been kind of conservative for a while. Maybe I need to step out a little bit and take some risks and that sort of thing. And so I thought about it, and so I thought, oh my goodness. So I did a little what if downing. What if I stepped out and I lost it? And all that work, of all that focus, what if, And then I stepped back and I said, well, how would that affect me? I thought, well, I'd be okay. I'd still be eating. I'd still have a place to live. I went through kind of the laundry list, everything. It wouldn't change a whole lot in terms of my life. So, okay. And so then I got excited. That what if up? So I decided, okay, I'm going to take half of it. I can afford to lose. I'm going to take the amount that I can afford to lose. Okay? And I'm going to use that, So then I started to get really excited. What if? And so I started doing my research. And I'm watching YouTube videos, and I opened up an E-Trade account, and I did all these setup pieces, and finally I decided where I wanted to go with it. It took me about a month to figure all that out. And so I went ahead and did it, which felt really good, right? To actually buy this stock. And so then I went up to Carrie and I said, Carrie, I bought the stock. She goes, oh. She says, well, so did I. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, I did too. And I said, oh my God.
So you bought some bullies?
I said, so if you lose your money, it's my fault. She said, oh, no. She said, I've been watching you. I've been watching you go through this process, and I've been listening, and I had this little bit of money in this IRA that was just sitting over here, and I hadn't even thought about it for a long time, and I thought, I'll use that. And so she did it. And she got into it, and it was exciting. So the idea is that, this energy, that when we get into this creatives, it's contagious, right? And a year later, we're both very happy with the outcome. And still there, still connected and still involved with it, way beyond what we thought it would be. And that's kind of how I think Spirit works. When we kind of do the work, if we engage in it, we get in the creative cycle. Starting the Spirit Circle, Spirit Groups, was another part of that same dynamic. Last August, and I've told this story before, but it bears repeating. Last August, I was feeling like, after several months of this, spread chairs, no hugging, no shaking hands, all the stuff that we were doing, masks, all that kind of stuff. You start to get a little bit like down. And I was thinking, boy, where are we going? How long is this going to last? What's going to happen to the ministry? The whole kind of like, worst case scenarios. We're just kind of living in me in that moment, And I thought, well, okay, there's got to be a way that we can serve each other that works within the context of what we're dealing with. That works within the limitations that we're all sharing in this journey. There's got to be a way. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be a way. And so I decided, okay, so what if there is a way? What if something shows up? And I wasn't into the what if thing at that moment, but that is sort of a natural thing to say, right? And so I sort of decided I'll just live in the question. I'm just going to live in the question. And that made me feel better already. Just having taken a step, live in the question, be open to the creative energy of the Spirit. It's got to come if I just live in that space. And so the second week of September, our annual regional conference was happening, and I'd signed up for it, and it was online. We weren't meeting in person. It was all 3 days online of conference stuff. And so the first night was a Monday night, and I signed on the conference thing. It was Mindy Odland was the presenter. And so I go on, and she immediately goes into this what if up thing. And she says, her first thing she says, what would you like to have happen a year from now? What would you like a year from now? And I still wasn't in the most positive space around this yet. And I listened to that, and I thought, I can't think a year from now. Says, I know there's some things I want now, but a year from now? How can I think a year? I don't even know what's going to happen a year from now. I don't know if we're going to still be, I went through this whole thing. And finally I just clicked off. I said, I can't do this. I went home, went to bed, slept on it, got up the next day, and she's on at 9 o'clock the next morning. So I jumped back on. Well, she had done this little thing, and I wasn't aware of what she was doing, and it just, I didn't need to hear it. But she got back on the next day, and she's told her story about spirit groups. Just right out of the chute, she just said, this is my story, and she told it and completely engaged me. And as I listened to her tell the story and what she had put together and how she had done it and all of the supporting material, everything that goes along with it and how it works and how she visualizes it working and the whole dynamic, all of a sudden I remembered 30 years ago that I'd gone to this church in Portland, this large kind of mega church in Portland, and sat through a week-long training on small group ministry. And for years I tried to figure out a way to do it in unity because nobody seemed to want to get into regular small groups for some reason. We could do it for 7 weeks, but then that was it. We had enough, And so it sort of went by the wayside, and then I started, and I remembered that excitement at that time, and I brought that into this experience, and then I started thinking, well, what if? What if we can create small groups so we can do Zoom, we can meet with people, we can connect, we can serve, we can teach, we can do all the things we need to do to be a spiritual community and a ministry, and it doesn't matter whether we're doing it like this or we're doing it with a full house. It still works. It's still the same kind of experience. And so that was the essence of how spirit groups started coming into our experience and into our ministry. And so we started to put the groups together with a lot of support material and a lot of the things that are coming up. And 50 people have signed up to be part of a group. And that's a really good sign up coming out of this. My goal is 60. And that's still possible because we have time for that to happen. And so I'd love to be able to serve that many people in the ministry of spirit groups. And it's interesting that in my fundamental organizing principle, how I do something is just as important as what I do. The process is just as important as the actual event, because because for me that's 50% of the experience is the process that we go through. And so the idea is that we do this collectively. We do it as a group, and we begin to connect and expand. And I think spiritual values are essential in the creative process. That we just don't bring stuff in for the sake of bringing it in, that there's this whole experience and journey that we go through, connecting with it and bringing it in to do good into the world. Because our purpose here is not just to create something for the sake of creating it, it's to actually bring good things into the world, good experiences into the world, good ideas into the world, good ways of supporting and helping and nurturing and doing all the things that we have come here to do. And our values are a big part of that. So I think What If Up, the whole process, and we're going to learn that as we go through this next 6 weeks, exactly how that works, how it fits in, how the creative cycle fits in, and how it works for each of us. We're going to learn that. And What If Up helps us develop the ideas and make them real in our life. It's interesting that quantum physics, quantum thinking, is about the idea that thoughts and focus impact subatomic particles at the deepest level. That our thoughts, our observations, and our focus impact life at the deepest subatomic level in experience. And so the way we think and the way we feel and the way in which we connect and do things is part of that divine spiritual process. There's an interesting story that Mindy tells in her book about this group that created a robotic chicken, and they programmed the chicken to walk in a certain pattern around the chicken coop, and it was just a regular pattern that the chicken was supposed to walk, and then they managed to imprint some baby chicks to that chicken, so the baby chicks thought that chicken was their mother. I don't know how they do that, but they did it, and so the chicks would follow the bird around, and the robotic chicken in its random sort of walk, and then they took the chicken outside of the coop. And again, instituted a program for the chicken to walk in a certain pattern and spend exactly the same amount of time in every particular place it stopped and turned around and so on and so forth. So they let the chicken loose. The baby chicks are still in the cage. So all of a sudden the baby chicks come up to the edge of the cage, and the robotic chicken goes to the baby chicks 2.5 times more often than it goes to any other spot in its movement, which is entirely against the program that was put into the robotic chicken, which says that the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of the baby chicks were influencing the robotic chicken at the deepest level. So when you're creating something, I want you to think about this robotic chicken. Because your thoughts, feelings, and actions have tremendous influence over the creative process and how it works and how it unfolds in our life. Mindy says that when you what if up, you direct your thoughts on possibilities that generate a sense of joy and excitement. These feelings are electromagnetic in nature and can be measured scientifically. Early studies indicate that shifting our electromagnetic signature could literally, on a quantum level, influence reality at the atomic level. Literally affect that reality. So in our groups this week, we'll be exploring these ideas and learning how, and this is the power, learning how to use them. When we talk about them, interact with them and with other people, we begin to create this support system, and we learn how to bring them into our life in a natural and powerful way. And so there's still room in some of the groups. You can still sign up. And I think, and I want to close with this idea, that what if everyone in our groups had a transformational experience? What would that be like? What if everyone in our groups had a transformational experience? What a blessing. Namaste.
Quick question for you. Do you still have books?
No. But you don't need the book to sign up or to go to the first meeting. You can get the book on Amazon.
Y'all know me. Yeah, I think you most all know me, or kind of know of me. There's a few people don't know me, and I'd love to know your name, if you want to let me know what that is. Yeah, this is the first song of 2021 that I wrote because of her. She made me do it. I'm a blamer. Fear is a wild horse that leads a tight rein. It is both friend and foe, showing us where to go, revealing the truth that sets us free. We learn to face all of our fears boldly when we go inside. Go inside. Fan the tiny spark of possibility within you into the flame of love that lives inside. Go inside and see the light. By the grace of God, you are what you are. Accept yourself and go on from there. Don't stand in your own shadow. Create the kind of self you can be happy with all of your life. And go inside. Go inside. Go inside. And the tiny spark of possibility within you into the flame of love that lives inside. Go inside and see the light. So go inside. Go inside. Be gentle with yourself. Learn to love yourself. Forgive yourself. Fan the tiny spark of possibility within you into the flame of love. Go inside. Go inside. Fan the tiny spark of possibility within you into the flame of love. Fan the tiny spark of possibility within you into the flame of love. Go inside. Thank you.
That's the creative side.
Thank you.
So let's take our gifts. Let's move into that dynamic of giving and receiving and that circle of love. And we recognize that as we send our gifts forward into this ministry, that we bless everyone. And as this ministry seeks to serve, we bless everyone. We bless each other. And so we give thanks for that understanding that as we give, we receive, shaken down, pressed together, and running over. So let us bless our gifts, whether we give them today in the offering vessels in the back or whether we give them automatically. We send a special blessing to them. And we affirm that my offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply through me. Together, my offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply through me. Thank you, God. Amen.
Please join us in singing, I Took Some Time Today.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I took some time today to get in touch with my soul. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I feel fine, fine, fine. I took some time today to get in touch with my soul. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I feel fine. Now I can hear that still small voice guiding me all the way. Now I can make choice because I took some time today. Oh, I took some time today to get in touch with my soul. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I feel fine, fine, fine. I took some time today to get in touch with my soul. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I feel fine, fine, fine. I took some time today to get in touch with my soul. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I feel fine. Now I can stand in liberty and learning love my faith. Now I can stand and I am free because I took some time today. I took some time today to get in touch with my soul. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I feel fine, fine, fine. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I feel fine, fine, fine.
Let us pray. Father, Mother, God, we acknowledge this offering as the very substance of your being, created for our use before the world was formed. We know it has been shaped and formed in our thoughts and in our hearts, and now comes into manifestation through our thoughts and our words, and enters this, your ministry, with your blessing upon it. According to your perfect law, it returns to each giver heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For our increased understanding of this law, we do give thanks. And now let's all stand as we close our service by singing our loving kindness blessing. May I be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. And may we be filled with loving kindness.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy.
And as we go forth in peace. Our hearts remain open. We are awakened to the light of our true nature. We are healed. And we are a healing source for all beings, and so it is. Amen.